Oh, hi, Nom's face.
Hey, look, I'm waving hi. Hello, everybody. I'm Nom.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be bringing you another game from the Millennium Games Netrunner League.
Yeah.
And today, I am on the right. Nom is playing Valencia.
And on the left is Ray. He'll be playing the Tennin Institute.
How prestigious.
Yes, quite prestigious. Tennin is an ID that got a little bit of buzz and a little bit of play right after it came out, and for maybe a few months after it came out, and then definitely kind of fell to the wayside. You don't see it very often anymore.
I agree, and to be honest, I think a lot of people really underestimate its capabilities, especially when the deck is built well.
Absolutely.
So let's see if this game lives up. I am playing Valencia, whom is a runner that actually starts the game giving the corporation a bad publicity, and the deck is designed to hopefully exploit that. The one drawback to her is that she does have a 50-card deck minimum.
It is a drawback, but it definitely is a good ability, and we've seen it used in a couple different ways as of late. There's definitely the blackmail spam version, just trying to exploit blackmail as much as possible, never allowing the corp to res ice, so the ice almost becomes irrelevant. But you also see a lot of versions of Valencia now where she just uses that as an economy engine, and it's just a free credit every run, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes,
if you're running 3 times a turn, that's amazing.
Honestly, if you don't lose that, if the corp doesn't get rid of that bad pub anyway, it's literally just a free credit every turn, so long as a run is made.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be multiple credits per turn, because it's 1 credit each run.
If you're running twice a turn, you're basically Ian Sterling, but you don't have to lose.
Well, how nice of you to put it that way. Sorry, Ian Sterling.
He's a good guy, but he likes to hang back a little too much.
Yeah. So, the Tennin Institute's ability is that if the runner did not make any successful runs their prior turn, the Tennin Institute gets to advance any card, or place an advancement counter on a token on any card.
And we see you're using subliminal messaging, which makes a lot of sense. Presumably what you're trying to do is lock down the central servers. You meaning Ray, who is not here.
Yes.
You're trying to lock down the central servers, keep them out, and then exploit it by getting free advancements, getting subliminal messaging credits for free, all sorts of great stuff. And we see... it's a rainbow.
Yes, I actually do an expose. So what you didn't know was that I actually have 3 flints in hand, or at least I had 2 flints in hand when I played that, willing to get rid of it.
Whoa, there's another one.
And there's another flint.
Now, Raymond Flint doesn't show up a lot. Can you break down what he does?
So the first ability is the static ability. Each time the corp gets a bad publicity, the runner gets to access 1 card at random from HQ. The activated ability, which is a trash, allows you to expose a card.
That's pretty great. So presumably, if you're playing Raymond Flint, you're planning on giving additional bad pub, maybe through investigative journalism?
Quite possibly. That is one reason. Perhaps another one would be to get more exposes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Without having to use influence.
Exposes is definitely nice. And expose is especially nice with Valencia and blackmail.
Definitely true. So I'm wondering why I'm running Raymond Flints.
No, it makes sense to me. If you want to know if that blackmail is worth spending on that giant stacked server of ice, might as well expose the bottom of it.
Yeah, to be honest, with the 50 card, I mean, you'd have to draw a lot more just to get your infiltration. But if you have 6 card effects that have an expose, then you can kind of sit back. Plus, this is the one that doesn't take up hand slots.
Yeah.
Because infiltration, if you have to save it with blackmail, with other things,
You're down to 1 or 2 other cards.
Yeah, so the problem that I actually have with this deck is I might run too many run events and not run enough. Therefore, I might have trouble dealing with things. But to be fair, Ray hasn't done anything threatening yet. However, with this Tennin Institute build, I believe what he ends up doing is So those advancement counters can be put on anything, and those cards don't even have to be advanceable. So
any piece of ice, which is great because if you're trying to trick of light out of something like a Wayland advanceable ice build or an NBN advanceable ice build importing those Wayland ice, you have limited options. But in Tennin, just throw them down on whatever is out.
Yeah, and to be honest, if you protect all these servers, you can basically trick of light anything. So if he has any 2 3s or 1 3, or sorry, 3 2s or 3 1s, then he can just score them right out of hand. And those advancement counters didn't really do anything because those ice might not even be able to use them.
It's true. It's true. It's also a great bluff. You have to respect them. You have to respect what it could be. It could even be a woodcutter. You don't even know.
Yeah, I know, right? Woodcutter is super dangerous. Only as a surprise.
That one time that it happened.
Yes.
Anyway, earlier you were saying one of the... Oh, you drop a Opus.
Hey, Magnum Opus in Valencia.
Nice. Earlier you were saying one of the drawbacks of Valencia is the 50-card deck size. Are you doing anything specific to mitigate that?
Currently, based on the board situation, no.
Okay.
And I even throw down a Hades shard.
Oh, nice.
But honestly, I have 3 Earthrise in the deck. I've got the I've had worse and a few other things, but for the most part, it's manual drawing until I hit like one of those or whatever.
I'm curious, as someone, I don't really play Valencia ever, but I have seen this happen. Were you interested in Paige Piper when she came out? Because I've been seeing Paige Piper show up in a lot of Valencia decks.
I was interested in it for an Anarch card, but not for my Valencia build. As I said, I'm running heavy run events, so
that makes sense.
It's tougher to get stuff. Plus the stuff that I get, like Raymond Flint, for example, I do want all of them in there.
Yeah.
Because I use his effects. So.
You don't have so many cards that you only need one of.
Right, exactly. And Hades Shard is a one of, mostly because it costs influence.
Yeah. So. And you can only have one in there.
Oh yeah, it's one per deck as well.
So
there's some card draw.
I've had worse. Classic. Instant classic.
So as you can all tell now, Ray is trying to upgrade to his R&D, and he hasn't made a remote because he knows he doesn't have to yet. And to be honest, against Valencia, he probably doesn't want to. So it's probably not a good idea.
Well, also presumably he's playing the fast advance game if he's stacking these advancement counters. So as someone who, I don't know how much you lean on blackmail, but if you're not expecting a scored remote, where does your mind go for the game plan?
So I actually run Eater in this deck.
Okay.
And as I said, heavy run events. The other run events I have are wanton destruction to clear things from hand. That's why I have the Hades shard, so I can easily access whatever I end up discarding. And then I also have singularity. So if I sense it's actually an agenda, but I've used all my blackmails, for example, I basically hopefully have enough money. I basically Eater my way directly into the server, singularity everything, and then once again Hades shard.
Makes sense. So we see a very interesting res from Ray over on the left. What is that called? Dedicated IT department, IT team, something like that, where you get 2 recurring credits.
Oh yeah, it's 2 recurring credits to install ice on that server only.
Yeah. Or can they also be used for resing ice?
No, they cannot.
Yeah. So that probably means he's going to be building some fat servers.
I think also the plan is if he can protect HQ and have all the HQ resources in hand, then this whole strategy of tricking of light, fast advance anything into play works better. So that's probably the intent.
But we see a remote and an advancement!
What?
Wow, he's just begging you to blackmail that.
Yeah, I mean, look, so I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I have to either steal it or take a look at it. So what am I going to do here? Look at I'm posturing. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I hesitate. Look back at my hands.
You're touching that Raymond Flint. You're really thinking about, do you expose the ice? Do you expose the install card?
Yeah.
And I saw a blackmail flash in your hand, so let's see. Ooh.
Hey, it is a medical breakthrough.
Ooh, classic. Yeah, medical breakthrough.
Right. I keep on forgetting because, medical research fundraiser is the other card.
It's the econ card. Yeah. You gain 7, runner gains 3, and you blackmail it out.
I'll take it.
Gladly, right?
Yeah.
And Ray probably doesn't really mind that.
No, right after I stole that, he's like, I don't mind you taking one of those.
Because now he can advance out the next one with a single Trick of Light.
True.
And then the third one, 2 for 2.
Yep.
Nuts.
So I discard a second Vigil because my first Vigil is out, and that is a really nice card for this build because of the thicker deck size. I end up wanting to draw more, but if the Corp has a full hand size, then I can just free draw.
Vigil, I will admit, when I saw Vigil, I was initially underwhelmed, but playing with it, it does some serious work. It is an excellent card.
To be fair, my one personal drawback with Vigil is that it only provides one additional MU.
Yeah.
But other than that, the ability is great, the cost is pretty cheap, it only costs 2, and it pretty much does work most games, unless the Corp is actively trying to stay low. So in this case, it's going to benefit me because, as I said, I have Wanton Destruction in the deck. So if they have a lower hand size, I can get rid of their hand. Versus if they have more cards, then I just draw more cards.
It makes sense.
So
win-win situation.
Yep.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the one memory, but I reacted similar to how I reacted when I saw Astrolabe in Shaper. It's like, well, if I have a giant rig, it's not going to work particularly well on its own. But if you just need that extra wiggle room, that extra one memory, you might as well take that with a sometimes benefit rather than a Nakamatsu Men chip, you know?
Yes, of course.
All right, so Ray, building up even further, or maybe not. Yes,
yep.
Building up even further.
To protect.
It's got 3 ice over HQ right now. I wonder what he's worried about. Maybe that you're going to throw down something like a Nerve Agent and blackmail twice. I don't really know. A legwork.
I'm going to tell you right now that Ray actually has a Valencia build. His build is drastically different than mine.
Okay.
What he actually does is he's got the Valencia virus build, and he actually goes crazy, build up everything, hive mind, and incubators, and then he blackmails through R&D with mediums. So he makes sure he has 2 mediums in play, and then this. I'm not playing my planned assault because what you don't know is I actually have one of all of the important run events in my hand already. So I have another blackmail, I have a wanton destruction, I have a singularity. I don't need that planned assault.
Makes sense. We're seeing a bit of a static patch. It looks like you're both kind of preparing. You're saving up those run events, and Ray is just stockpiling cash. We saw a restructure followed by another subliminal messaging. He's got all these advancements all over the place.
I'm pretty sure if he wanted to advance pretty much any agenda, except for something that costs 5, so I guess that would be like Fetal AI, then he can pretty much score it. Yeah. So I've got to figure out a way to stall him. I had actually considered playing Clot in the deck, but in this particular build, during this game, I did not have it.
Yeah. Clot's interesting. I mean, it's an excellent card, but I think it's just a Shaper card. You get it on demand.
Right.
In Anarch, unless you're playing clone chips like in a clone chip noise build or something, or an ice destruction build, it's a little less impactful.
Yep.
Oh, but you're throwing down Mimic and Eater.
Yes, so I threw down Eater because Eater is how I get through any server with all my shenanigans, so wanton destruction things. And honestly, the only reason why Mimic is there is because of Swordsman.
Yeah, Swordsman's a card, man.
Yeah.
It's a pain.
And Eater is an AI, so I need to deal with it. But anything else, Eater can break, or it just doesn't hurt me if I just take it.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal otherwise.
So, looks like Ray is a Trick of Lighting out, a non-agenda right now.
Hey! Brain Trust.
Brain Trust. The almost basically blank 3 for 2 out of Jinteki.
Yeah. I don't see that over advanced very often. And it's every 2 advancements over you get 1.
Yeah. I have never once seen it over advanced.
I've seen it, but somebody had to do it because of various circumstances, i.e. maybe Chicanas were in play. Yeah,
it's interesting, though, because we look at someone like Reina Roja, who is the first piece of ice costs 1 more each turn, and we think that is an amazingly impactful ability. Brain Trust over advances. Every piece of ice, every single one is 1 less, and we're like, meh.
Yeah, and to be honest, it requires 2 more. If it required 1 more, we might actually see it.
It would be absurd.
Work. It might even be too good. But
it would be broken.
I mean, most Jinteki decks. How often do you actually see this much ice? I mean, I guess there are some builds with a lot of ice.
I mean, that was true for a while, but I think now we see a lot of ice out of RP builds.
Oh, right. Replicating perfection.
Yeah, and for a while, the Harmony Medtech Glacier was a bit of a thing where you would see the big scoring remote trying to just crank out 5 for 3s.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally agree with what you're saying. It's not too often that you're going to have a ton of ice on the board and be trying to spend your effort on brain trust as opposed to something a little more impactful, like a 3-pointer.
Right. Here we go. Big play. Wanton Destruction.
Ooh.
And this is my first click, so whatever he reses. I have $22, so I'm pretty sure I can make it through no matter what he's got.
And a bad pub.
And a bad pub.
Free money.
And I do remember to use it, because sometimes I do forget. But...
Eating through that ice wall.
Yep.
So, are you hoping to clear out the hand and then immediately pop the Hades shard, hoping there's an agenda? Or are you more just trying to slow him down?
I actually just want to get rid of stuff from his hand. Last turn, he played the Archive Memories. Mm-hmm. I just hope that I hit that card. But also, this was an opportune time, because I could have done this. I remember at this point in the game, I could have done the Wanton Destruction last turn, but I just drawn the prepaid voice pad. I'm like, I can wait a turn. So I played it, got money, did other things. And I'm doing it this turn because I wanted to maximize the hand destruction.
Makes sense.
So, okay, so we do this part. So the card Wanton Destruction says, you force the corp to randomly trash. So I actually shouldn't be able to see any of these.
Oh,
So this is actually a mistake.
This is a huge mistake.
Yes.
You're seeing 2 agendas.
Yes.
That presumably... Do you pop the shard right now?
No. Even that, just based on knowing... I think somebody yelled over the shoulder, or I realized in a sec that, oh, yeah, I'm not supposed to see those. Crap. Well, okay, so I basically decided not to pop the shard because I know that I wouldn't have done it at that point anyway, but even seeing those cards, it's like, well, I only have 2 other points. I would need 5.
Yeah. And
even if he has something in in Archives that's worth 5, or that's worth 3 points, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but basically, I don't think there's necessarily assuredly points in there.
For what it's worth, this card's Wanton Destruction is one of those cards that really rewards perfect timing. And when I'm thinking about applying heavy HQ pressure, whether it's a Wanton Destruction or a legwork, I'm waiting until I think there's a bunch of agendas in hand. And seeing as how Ray was holding back and not scoring for the last few turns, I would have never suspected there was 2 agendas in there.
Right, 2 agendas, and then also, just fortuitously, you happen to see that I also hit a Trick of Light. Mm-hmm. And then he just played another Memories. So...
Yeah, presumably he was digging for a Trick of Lights as opposed to digging for agendas, if that's what you saw. But normally for something like that, a legwork or a Wanton Destruction, if I'm trying to get points out of it, which, that's how you win the game. If you're trying to get points out of it, I normally wait for them to draw multiple times with clicks on a turn. Because it's more likely that they're digging for an agenda or that they're digging for something and they actually draw into an agenda. Mm-hmm. As opposed to if they just take their mandatory draw and do other things.
Alright, so if you just missed it, I just deja vu'd for that Wanton Destruction back into hand on this turn.
Kicking him while he's down.
Not using it this turn because I don't have all the clicks to maximize the damage.
Makes sense.
But also another reason to not pop the Hades shards, even though I actually knew that they were in there, but it would have been unfair because I'd accidentally seen them when I shouldn't. Right. We were both at 2 points. I mean, I don't think I was going to necessarily win, so it's safer to just save the Hades shard until I know I'm going to win.
Makes sense. And Ray Trick of Lighting out.
Yep.
Ooh, there's the next medical breakthrough.
Yep. So now it's 4-2, so I'm feeling a little bit more pressure, but I don't think he's got 3-pointers, and if he does, I know I have blackmail to blackmail the important part of the server. But yeah, now I'm just doing some math to see how much it takes to get through. I think it's like $9, because that's a triple advance ice wall up front.
Yep.
And then that middle thing is strength 4, that's the rainbow thing. Mm-hmm. And then the Lotus field is 4. Yep.
So, whatever it is, I would say it's worth it.
And I made him discard a bunch of cards. I believe I made him discard his whole hand because he only had 3 cards in hand.
Yep, and he's drawn back up with his mandatory draw. And looks like he's debating what to do. Because he's running very, very low on cards in that deck.
Yeah, that deck is not very thick. At this point, I'm thinking, hey, maybe I can just wait it out. The worst case scenario is if he did have 3-pointers in Archives and we had to play a Psy game. I was like, man, I don't want to have to play a Psy game. So
They are a pain. But presumably at some point soon you're going to be popping that Hades shard and seeing what is in there. Because even if it's not points, I mean, there's got to be some points in there. But even if it's not, you'll have a lot of information.
True. Alright, I'm going to blackmail Archives right now.
Oh, interesting. Saving the Hades shard for a rainy day.
Yeah, you know, with Wanton Destruction and Singularity. I mean, you never know, so
Yeah.
I just want to save the trump, basically.
Makes sense. The clickless version.
Yep.
So you see Space Camp.
He gets to advance a thing.
What? That makes sense in Tennin.
Yep.
And you steal... What's the... Oh!
So I'm going to get a total of 4 more points. And I'm going to be using 3 real money in that bad pub.
I see.
So I'm at 6 points.
Those are that new agenda, the genetic resequencing.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I'm really bad with the names of cards that I haven't used, so...
Genetic resequencing, since it's a new card, I'll explain. It's a Jinteki 3-for-1 agenda, and it says, when you score genetic resequencing, you may place an agenda counter on an agenda in your score area, which works super well with Brain Trust. How we were saying earlier, who over-advances Brain Trust? Well, the answer is play genetic resequencing.
Yes, that would work out. Also, if you are running Personal Evolution, you can run House of Knives. Gets you an additional damage.
Why not?
You know.
I'm actually, spoilers, packing... Oh, we're not playing that game. Spoilers for anyone who play me in the future. I'm packing 1 genetic resequencing in my RP build just as an extra Nisei counter.
Good call.
Yeah, why not?
It's pretty good.
It's good fun.
Look, he's building out the remote.
Interesting.
I'm not afraid.
You're in a very, very strong position here.
I'm feeling very comfortable because I don't think he's running any 3-pointers that he can cheat out in 1 turn.
It seems tremendously unlikely. I would imagine if he's doing this Trick of Light Fast Advance strategy, he's all 2 and 1 pointers. So he's going to have to score 2 more agendas to win the game. And you're already at 6 points.
Yeah, I just need the 1, so I can just kind of wait it out. I do want tons of money so that I can run on whatever server if I have to eater through it. So you can see here, I'm just going to take buttloads of money.
It's definitely the right call, because if he's installing another piece of ice on the remote, that's a clear sign that he's going to play the remote game and not the fast advance game.
To be fair, I'm not concerned because I still have blackmail available, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Valencia.
It's either that or maybe I miscounted and I've already played my 3rd one, but one or the other.
And Frey is really pushing the limit on that deck there.
Dangerously close.
Very low.
I think he's got maybe, 6 or so cards left in R&D at this point. I didn't do an exact count, but I looked at it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty low.
He's just drawing right through. Whoa, hoping for a miracle. He did draw another Trick of Light, so that is great news for Ray.
So he needs 2 more agendas probably, because he's been through this much, and I haven't seen a single 3-pointer, so it's got to be 2 and 1s. All right. And yeah, intermittently I'd been asking him, hey, do you have a full hand? So getting my same old thing out.
Oh.
It's the first one all game. No, second one?
Couldn't tell you, but it is scary either way.
Yeah, either way. So I just taking credits because I know I need credits.
So Ray getting back the subliminals, getting some free money.
1 free money. The other one he has to actually use.
It's true. And a free advancement.
Yep.
And presumably, well, if he has an agenda in the hand, there's no reason for him not to score it out with that Trick of Light.
Correct.
Does he do it? Which looks exactly
Looks
what
like
he's doing
what he's
right
doing.
now. And now, all of a sudden, we have a game.
Oh man! So this game is 6-6, and he's just debating on what piece of ice to take it off of, and it is actually.
Oh, it's a Melodic!
I'm gonna have to take 4 damage to the face here.
That
Luckily,
hurts.
I do have a 5-card hand right now.
That is wow.
So-
I'm sure he was waiting, hoping that you would discard down, or rather, play some cards out.
Yeah, no. At this point, I'm keeping everything. So, getting rid of a ton of good things, and 1 infiltration, and a wanton destruction, and
That is that a singularity in there? Oh, man.
literally every card in there I wanted to keep, and that's the blackmail. So, luckily, I played that.
You were very lucky
Same
to
old
throw that
thing.
on the board. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you were literally saying 3 or 4 turns ago, I'm just going to save all these really good events. And he just laughs at that.
I know. This one time, I'm so glad that that's 1 per deck, because if it wasn't, it would totally be horrible.
Oh, it would be brutal. Well, what's the move here, Nam? You've seen him score everything out with Trick of Lights. You got to be assuming that he can do it again. He
It's
has
true.
the reclamation orders. He could pull him back.
Well, I'm thinking of this weird contrived thing to do. I don't have many options here, and I'm afraid that he will be able to win if I don't do something. So I'm taking my time, my precious time, in thinking about what to do. And so, I don't know if you know, there's this stigma about me rolling my red dice, and when I roll my red dice to grab cards from HQ, they're always good cards. So, here's what I'm going to do. You better watch this. First 2, same old thing. I'm actually going to wanton destruction. Because if he has the win in hand, I've got to at least eliminate the pieces.
You gotta, or even if he doesn't have the win in terms of agendas, he's got to have a rec order or got to have another Trick of Light. I think he might have played 3. But
Either
that is
way.
the right move.
Either way, I think that was the play to make. But in game right now, I'm just debating on what to actually do
Yeah.
because I have a choices. I can use blackmail or I can use wanton destruction. So I'm going to use wanton destruction. That's what I committed to doing.
Unfortunately, with the same old thing, you're only going to get
2 of the
them.
cards. I do, but I think his hand has 4 cards, so
Okay.
it's a 50-50 shot if there's 1 or so pieces.
Makes sense.
I have plenty of money. I can get through.
You got the Hades shard on the board.
Yeah, so
Just check it.
that's my plan. Whatever I discard, I'm totally just accessing right after.
Now I see why you saved that Hades shard.
Yeah, it has pulled me out in a bind more than once, and so if I can keep it, I do. So using a blackmail in archives, I'm generally okay with, oddly enough.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Some people feel wrong about that, but it's just sometimes the best thing to do.
If you're not worried about tags and losing it, might as well save it for a rainy day.
Yeah, also, I don't have that many cards in hand at this point. I only have 1, so if he ends up having some kill cards, I'm basically dead anyway. So I roll. I get Snake Eyes! I'm going to make him trash those 2 cards. And then I'm going to pop. Boom!
Do you win?
And the 2 cards I happened to hit were both agendas. They're actually 2 brain trusts, and he had the Trick of Light in hand, which I didn't hit, but there was actually 2 brain trusts.
Do or die situation.
And it
you
worked out.
Did.
That was amazing!
Well
I was
played, Nam.
so pumped after that game.
No, that's the power of wanton destruction. When you think you have very little hope, you might as well give your opponent very little hope as well.
I know, and to be honest, even if I just hit all the agendas, which I did in that case, if he ended up just drawing through his deck, because I don't think he had any more after that, right? That was because there was 4 agendas, there were 7 agendas up there, 2 more down here. That's 9 agenda cards, so you might have had 1 more, maybe.
There were 12-point scores, so that meant 8 points
12.
left in the deck.
So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
There were only
So
there were
there's
2
only-
left in there.
So there's 4 agenda points left in the deck. So
This is all to say you made the right call and it paid off.
thanks. Yeah, I got lucky. By the way, it's not I got lucky. The dice love me.
It's
And
those
hate-
red dice, man.
And the red dice hate Ray. Sorry, Ray.
If I play you in the regionals, I'm going to request that you use different dice, just so you know right now.
Not allowed.
I'll call the judge over. No, well played, Nam. Very great game. It was very interesting to see. It seemed like for a lot of the game, you were both waiting for each other to make a move, and then when someone did just one thing, it set off a chain reaction.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with how that game turned out, because I actually thought I was commanding for a while, and then Ray ends up pulling back into the game, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
oh crap, what can I do? And then the last minute, I'm like, okay, I just gotta balls to the wall,
Go for
deal
it.
with it.
Yeah, well played.
So, anyway, well, thank you, sir. I hope you enjoyed that game. I actually Really like that game.
Yeah, that was a good one. And thank you, viewers, for checking it out with us.
All right. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice night. We'll see you guys next time.
See you later.
See ya.